Happy New Year. Valley Center City Council meeting for January 3rd, 20 is now in session. Roll call.
Mayor Cicerillo.
Here.
Councilmember Stam. Councilmember Evans.
Here.
Councilmember Bass.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Kerstetter.
Here.
Councilmember Wilson.
Here.
And Councilmember Colbert.
Here.
Please rise for the invocation. Follow the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this brand new year, 2023. As Apostle Paul says to the Philippian church, help us to forget what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. We to press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called us heavenward in Christ Jesus. Lord, in this year 2023, pray for your continuing leading to us as a city council body. We follow your will, plan, and we want to be the body after your own heart. Put into your hearts, mind, your own thoughts and purposes. Help us to be sensitive to your leadership. We pray for wisdom for all the leaders that are here tonight. Many decisions, important decisions that are being made day after day. May they all know how to discern your will and to follow your plan for a city during this important time. Lord, we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, council item 5, approval of the agenda.
Move to approve agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6A, City Council meeting minutes.
Move to approve the minutes of the December 20th, 2022 regular council minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving right along, we have no presentations or proclamations, so we'll move on to the public forum. It's time in the meeting that we will allow anybody that's in the audience to speak to an item that is not on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on. No appointments, no old business. We're rocking right around, rolling right here. Going to new business item A, ordinance 134-22, longevity.
Good evening, Mayor. Tonight we'll start off with our first item here regarding employee longevity pay. As what was presented in the new employee handbook at our last meeting was an increase to the number of times an employee can earn this over their length of service in the city. So currently, employees receive longevity pay, which is an additional 2.5% of pay for their 5th, 10th, 15th, and 20th year. This was established by ordinance, so we're waiting for the handbook to pass and then come back to go this forward. They're repealing and replacing the ordinance with the 25th and 30th years adding to that. So basically what this is for first reading tonight, the second reading next meeting, and we do have no employees hitting these marks between that time frame.
Councilmember Kerstetter.
Okay, so thank you for the clarification as far as this is already in an ordinance. A housekeeping question on the motion, you have 2, and on the title it says 23-23. Scroll up.
Thinking ahead for it to be the new year at the time.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be
So it should be 23.
Yeah, so the numbers are always the year.
All right.
It
Just
should be
that's
23.
what I
Okay.
Anybody else?
Make a motion to approve the ordinance 1384-23 regarding longevity pay for free.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, approval of food for fines program.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Once again, we're coming before you asking to implement this program. It would be to collect canned goods or food items, non-perishable, in exchange for $5 off of fees. This would be the court assessed fee, or it would go be the fine or restitution, anything like that. We've done it since 2019. Numbers have dropped a little bit, as you can see there. We hope to get that up. We would plan on using, of course, the internet and social media, and I'm sure Administrator Clark is already thinking of ways we can utilize TikTok and make a video for this. So we just need, or we ask for your approval to continue this. It's a good program. It benefits our community and the food pantry. As well, I think it's also a benefit. Not only are they receiving $5 off of a fine, and that's helpful for a lot of people, but I think it's a benefit to those that are participating in that program more than just receiving $5 off. It's something they can do to help other people in the communities. We just ask for your continued support, approval of this plan.
Any questions from council?
I move to approve the food fines program and set the amount per canned food item at $5 with a maximum amount of $50.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, 2023 water rate approval.
Good evening once again. It's that time of year we go through and analyze our current water rates, how much Wichita has increased theirs, run that analysis compared to what we charge, et cetera, see how much if we can keep it steady or have to increase. Fortunately, this year we are proposing that we do have that increase. So starting off the memo, there's the background dating through 2019 when I first came on board. Managing the increases from Wichita, not fully absorbing 100% of them each year, but trying to keep it around that 4% mark. In 2020, that 4% mark again in one is when we tier one rate at $5 per thousand and drop. For 2023, we're proposing to keep that base rate frozen at $30 and just increase the tier pricings 4% mark. Currently, our ordinance states that the city fee rates will increase 4% in addition to whatever increase Wichita is passing along to us. If we were to do that this year, that would have been 11.45%, and that is. So I took several looks at the and what we can try to offset that additional expenditure. And what I'm proposing tonight is to increase the rates by 4% and then start passing those credit cards to our users. Those convenience fees are, widely used everywhere you go. You're always paying some kind of convenience fee, paying a phone, online, with credit card, et cetera. Those fees average about 2.5% that we're charged from our merchants whenever someone pays their utility bill with a credit card. Also, along with that, in 2020, when COVID started, our ERP provider, Encode, for our online payments and over the phone payments, they charged an additional $1.25. We took that off during COVID, and we've been absorbing that since then. And tonight, we're, along with credit card fees, putting that back on. I did make one small error. It's not $1.50, it's $1.25. I thought they were going up, but they're at $1.25 for right now. So with that increase from Wichita, if we were to use the same amount of water as we did last year, that would increase our expenditures about $55,000. The 4% increase takes that to about 35,000, and that additional 20,000 just for water would then be passed along through the card fee to make up that difference. Right now, we do absorb about $55,000 a year in merchant fees, but that is spread amongst water, sewer, storm, trash. So about 20,000 of that is from water. So 20,000 from the credit card fees plus the increase in Wichita, we pass those fees into our 4%. It all cancels out. So it's even revenue to expenditure wise. So what that does to our current tiers and our current rates are it does take us back up above that $5 to $5.20 per 1,000 gallons. Did look around to other communities. I know Derby at now 571, 572 around there, first thousands. So we're still right around there, as you see on the chart on the left side of the screen. We're right there in the middle when it comes to that average 6,000 gallon usage amongst users. So why I'm proposing to do the 4% increase on the tiers and then pass along the fees is because if we were to just pass along that entire 7.45%, that would penalize the people that don't pay via credit card. Right? So if they even paid for cash check or bank draft, they still have to pay that whole 7.45%. If we pass along this fee, keeps it at 4%. So that's why we offer and emphasize those convenience fee-less ways of payment, which would be cash, check, or automatic bank draft, to where you would just pay exactly what you're billed. Along with this is our rates. I'm just proposing an annual 2.5% as stated in ordinance, and getting 4% for tiers 1, 2, and 3, and the convenience fees charged for credit cards and online payments.
Councilmember Anderson.
Do we have any data on that? Which of these cities have their own water treatment? Which buy from Wichita? Do we know that?
Part on that list right there, City and Newton are the only ones that produce their own. Was it a buy from which? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess Maze doesn't.
Okay.
Apologies.
Just was interested in that since we're going to be in that boat soon. So, all right.
Councilmember Bass.
Do we know how God able to keep their costs down? Have we looked into that?
So there is different ways that you can purchase water from Wichita. When our contract started, we just renewed our next 20-year contract in 2017. So 15 years prior to that, we implemented buying water from Wichita using that tiered system right there. I know Goddard, Derby, I believe a couple of others use what's called the uniform wholesale volume rate. They're below those tiers. So they pay $4.80 per 1,000 gallons, regardless of how much they use. But when I ran that number against what we use, it would actually penalize our low users even more because we have to at least make $1.75 per 1,000 to operate and sustain what we have. If we were to switch the tiered rate to the uniform rate, we'd have to charge $6.55 per 1,000 for all tier 1 users. So that would increase theirs, an extra $1.35 once being presented tonight. But because they started that way back when, able to adjust their block usage according to that. So how they're able to keep theirs so low. Maybe an extra infrastructure fee, things like that on top of that. But that's mainly for just the water usage and demand charge.
Councilmember Stutter.
Is this going to be effective for this month or next month?
So how this would roll out is we would put a notice on the January bill and then another notice on the February bill to take effect March 1st. So when the March bills come out, or any payment made after March 1st would then have that fee on there. That way it gives us 2-month cycle and time to get on social media, website, everything to make that information.
Yeah, I
Try to
don't
get
like,
people signed up for bank draft and let them know how to pay without paying these fees.
I don't like having to increase anything, but we're kind of have no choice. Emphasize that we're in the process of getting our own
Great
water
question,
treatment
Mr.
facility.
Clark. Recap the water.
So I was just going to turn to our utility billing clerk had something to add. Heather, do you have come on up? She's not just going to sit back there and yell so our folks at home can't hear. Heather?
Rates will start January. Fees.
Oh, thank you for that clarification.
Yes. Right, okay.
Because so these 2023 dates started 3 days ago.
Well, the bill that comes at the end of the month, so yes, the bill that is from your usage from December 15th to the end of January.
Right, okay.
Did that confuse you enough? So yeah, that's what Heather was saying there, and it's always a great opportunity to have some professional growth when you have to come up and explain that. So if that made sense now to you, so it's for the usage that you're consuming now, because the way the billing works from, your usage from the 15th to the 15th. And then when we actually get all the information inputted, then that bill goes out at the end of that month. You usually receive, towards the end of January, beginning of February. Usually the first Friday in February is when you should actually get your physical bill that will have the increases when it comes to the water rates, but not fees that we're proposing to turn on when it comes to convenience fees for both online and the other payment methods. But there are still ways and opportunities for the general public to not have to pay those increases. And that's by, like Mr. Smith said, by cash, a check, or a bank draft. And so, we encourage everyone to use those methods to keep those fees and the increases low. We are in the process, of course, of doing the water treatment plant study. Of course, that is not something that is just, turn the key all of a sudden and next day you're going to have a water treatment plant. There's a tremendous amount of planning. Rodney Eggleston and all of our water and wastewater department staff are getting together and figuring out the best methods with the company that you all hired to then go through that process. But that's going to be that 2026 year, hopefully, with turning that on in 27. So, Mr. Mayor, I heard the button.
Councilmember Bass has another question.
Last question. Are you able to set up the auto pay via bank draft online? Or is that something that has to be done?
No, the form's online.
Yeah, so currently we don't store banking information online or anything like that. So you can access the form online and then mail it in, drop it off, and you make your payment, etc.
So when did we turn the fees off? Because I know we did that because we were able to do that, but I don't remember when that happened. Was that for
2020
COVID? Okay.
Sorry.
I couldn't remember when we had done that. Okay.
Absorb all those. And we've increased our online presence. Obviously, we had just over 3,000 online payments since October 1st of 22 through the end of the year. So that's increasing.
I know I use it, so it's just good deal. All right. Any other questions?
Motion to approve proposed 2023 water rates for the city of Valley Center. Sewer rates by the standard 2.5%. Increase water rates for the tier 1, 2, and 3 by 4%. Turn on the convenience fees for any utility payment made with a debit credit card at 2.5%. Turn on convenience fees for online and IVR payments charged by Encode $1.25.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, correction.
Go ahead.
I think you said $1.25.
Yeah,
That's right.
Barry,
Yep.
Barry had to.
It's a mistake. So
That
that's
Should have been $1.25 in the minimum.
all in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Item D, fee schedule discussion.
Okay, once again, so presenting is our first comprehensive fee schedule for the city. This is a while. We basically set out a staff in collaboration with other departments, community development, public safety, admin, water, et cetera, to combine all the fees that are sprinkled throughout our book all into one spot. So on this here shows everything that we were able to find for our municipal code. To go back in and amend this schedule rather than having to amend, read twice, publish an ordinance every time we want to adjust the fee up or down. we'll be able to now be a resolution on an annual basis once a year and address everything from here. As you see, there is some rather old fees on here. These first ones here that I'm just recommending to move when we present it next meeting. We're from 1946 when we were charging people $20 per pool table in their establishment and $2 for each additional pool table. There's just some really old items on here that we just need to get off. It just goes through everything. Community building rentals. We're just having a discussion tonight because I wanted to wait till based on the water rates. We come back in and adjust them, update them in here. And then all the municipal fees. Some are set by statute. That's what this column is. Some are set by ordinance and some are referencing the Valley Center fee schedule. That's what the CFS is. So everything in highlight in yellow there is what we're proposing to put in here with this, with those fees on the right side. And we'll slowly but surely come back through with those ordinances and amend them to reference this. So we just have to update this once a year. It's a big efficiency piece when it comes to fees and ordinances, things like that. This is more just a presentation of this, get your feedback on if you see any fees that you want us to look at, anything like that, or we'll just update it, bring it back next meeting with the resolution and get it rolling.
Realize how many there really were. Till I saw it all. And yes, and some of those, like that got me, the pool tables. I'm thinking, well, the Hive has tables. Is that, do we charge them for? I don't think we do. No. Yeah, it's amazing. I guess sometimes when you go back into the books and see what's out there. I mean, how many times do you wonder why there's still some on? We need to do that, I think. So, Councilmember Kerstetter.
So one thing that would be nice is all of these current or these proposed changes. I know you're putting it all in one location. Are any of these you're changing, increasing the fees, or?
They are all current except for the UA fee in the court section.
Okay.
I think we're increasing that to $30. And that's just because that cost is being passed on to us with the different panel
Okay.
testing they're doing now.
Next question is, and I'm not even sure this is the right, for lack of a better term. Well, I guess it's fee schedule for like electrician that wants to come do work in here in town. Was that in here too? As far as I was looking for, and
Section, is that right?
I know. I thought I saw it too.
I saw HVAC, but that was for installation of certain.
Referring to the actual business license fee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Barry,
like,
I'm not sure if that one is in here. Business licenses.
It's on the very top, third one down. Edwards Solicitor.
No, that's not what that is.
so
In case that's not in there, we do base how the business licensing works is when someone wants to do work in Valley Center, they are required Valley Center business license. We base our license off of how our license is Sedgwick County. So for example, if they're a Class A contractor with Sedgwick County, then they become a Class contractor with the City of Valley Center. Those business licenses are good for 2 years, and we follow the same fee schedule as Sedgwick County
okay.
for business licensing. So if that's not in there, our apologies for not adding that, but how that works is we follow the same fee schedule as the Metropolitan Area Building and Construction Department, or MABCD.
How does that?
So
So how do that fee schedule you're talking about compare to other cities? Do they follow the same guidelines? Because like is Park City charging less and
Right,
attract more people,
I am
or?
not sure what their fees like. We can definitely look into that.
Okay.
But I know a lot of cities follow the same fee schedule
Well, so
on MABCD.
that makes sense. I'm talking about the monetary investment that they went into our community in order to do business.
Yeah. No, we can add in some research
That'd be
on that. But again, we do follow the same fee schedule as MABCD and follow the same licensing. So whatever are with MABCD is what they'll be with the Valley.
okay.
Good evening, if I could something here real quick. And also too, actually, thanks to our membership in their WSU public management or local government network, we actually tasked them with coming up and develop similar fees and what everybody in the region is charging. And so we'll make sure to provide that information next meeting, something that I do have in my, so thank you. It doesn't include all of these, but includes some.
Well, yeah, and I'm just curious how we're stacking up against other communities to
Absolutely.
attract.
We just looked at it. And no, I didn't see business license in there, so we'll make sure to get that out. Thank you.
All right, other questions? Yep. Guess we're good.
We'll bring it back next with that information.
All right. Move on to item E, acceptance of bid for dump truck.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. Back at the December 6th meeting, you all authorized us authority to put the 1999 GT dump truck out for solicitation of bids. We did receive only one back, unfortunately, but it was a very fair and very qualified bid, the sale of disposal of this vehicle. The amount was $2,700 for this vehicle, and we would recommend that we approve acceptance of this bid. Stand for any questions.
Questions? Motion.
Recommend a motion to accept bid from Kurt in the amount of $15,750 for the 1999 GMC one-ton dump truck.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item F, approval of agreement with PEC for water master plan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I am requesting approval of an agreement between the city and PEC for a water master plan and model analysis of the city's distribution system. This study and model will evaluate the city's distribution system and all the current growth taking place and all the future growth taking place, and planning for any future updates necessary, potential additional storage needed in specific areas of town, any booster stations needed, etc. We built this model, we run different scenarios. It gives us different pressures. We can run every scenario imaginable in it. Gather a report kind of outlining the findings and what our recommended upgrades would be.
Councilmember Gregory.
In the agreement, choose an item is used in place of assuming client or city 47 times. I don't know if this was carelessness or haste. It's certainly not a good presentation from an engineering firm in my mind.
I apologize about that. That must have been an autofill error that did not get publicly corrected. Definitely get that
So
revised.
there will be a revised agreement.
Yep, we can provide a revised document.
You could miss it.
Any other questions? Motion. Or do we want to delay the next meeting revised?
Good evening again. I wasn't going to need to go ahead and table this to the next meeting, and we'll make sure to update before you all. So I do apologize for not reviewing it in closer detail myself. Take full responsibility for that, and we'll send back additional information. I did also receive 2 other quotes. We didn't send a formal bid, but I did receive 2 other quotes on this that I'd want to include as well. So apologize for this on without being prepared.
Do we need a motion to table it?
Yes.
Motion to this item of agreement for water master plan.
Second.
Till next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you put it, you don't have to.
I mean, it means it could go on
Till next meeting.
forever.
Yes,
So
Could go on.
I know, but the second agree with that, then
Yes.
second next meeting. All right, I have a motion to second to table this discussion until the next council meeting, which will be
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
The
No,
17th.
17th, I don't. Yes. I don't have my calendar handy.
Correct.
17th?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion is second. All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to staff reports. Mr. Schrack, I'm going to change this around just because everybody's so used to it. I'm going to just have Christie shuffle them up and
All right.
put people in different orders.
Well, good evening again. Just a quick reminder and invitation that Main Street Valley Center's annual will be held next Thursday, that's January 12th, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. That'll be held at La Venue. So if any of you can, more than welcome. There will be a provided. Again, that's next Thursday, January 12th, starting at 6:30. And then just so you can put this on your calendars for this, the home show will be at the beginning of March. Traditionally, it's been held in February. This year, it's being moved to March. So I'll provide dates later. But again, this is a great opportunity for us to showcase our community, our school district, the new subdivisions that will be coming online. So very excited for this home show. But again, it'll be held the beginning of March this year. And I will, again, share the actual dates as we get closer. But if any of you would like to volunteer, I would be more than happy to add you to the list of volunteers to help run the booth. So thank you and Happy New Year.
Mr. Owens.
Just a quick reminder, if you have Christmas trees and live ones that need to be recycled, Veterans Park is the drop off for that. There'll be, county has partnered with the city and they'll come out and grind those up. People are, the mulch is there and available for people to come collect for free. We'll go on through the 20th of January, I believe, so.
Thanks, sir. Chief Newman. Mr. Eggleston.
So quick project update is we would expect probably wasn't a whole lot of changes over the holiday. They didn't have much work done on either Cedar Ridge or Arbor Valley. I made a quick drive out there. They are working, Arbor Valley's working on base for preparing for asphalt on the roads through there, of course. And they have a culvert in the pond area to drain that pond area out when necessary. Cedar Ridge, I did see gravel trucks. They're still working on that base and preparing for asphalt there. Of course, with the temperatures, that's going to probably be delayed again. We were able to have a progress meeting for Ford Street over the next weeks. We've got some things happening. They continue to cast and play departments. They're putting up the wings and the walls. And over the next 2 weeks, you'd have curbing and concrete poured up the hill east of Seneca on Ford there on the north side of the road. So you could end up with concrete all the way across the road there. And continue doing some paving there at the Seneca intersection. They're also grading that diversion to line those up. So, and then one other thing, again, the water wastewater department did find a small leak at right in front of 416 Valley Park. And Javin Baker from KRWA was able to come out with a really nifty little tool we've used a couple times. You can actually listen down through the ground and help pinpoint where these leaks are. So we don't have to dig where we don't need to dig. It's helped us a couple other times already. They're rather expensive little tools. So hopefully we won't need to get one of those. they plan to work that later this week. Question?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Shear. Mr. Arbuckle. Mr. Smith. Mr. Clark, you have anything else? Then we'll move on to the governing body reports. I have nothing. So, Councilmember Stam?
Nothing.
Councilmember Evans?
I have nothing.
Councilmember,
Nothing,
I'm sorry, pass.
nothing other than Happy New Year.
Councilmember Anderson?
I have nothing.
Councilmember Gregory?
Just a reminder that the Sedgwick Association of Cities meeting will be at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, January 14th. Please let us know if you would like to attend. They're very informative meetings.
Councilmember Kerstetter?
I have nothing, thanks.
Councilmember Wilson?
I have nothing, sir.
And Councilmember Colbert?
Yeah, three things. Before you, some papers, legislative, in the state, one is from, one is the Senate. The proposed bill coming up this year. So if you're interested, please let me know. Now, it's not all of them, there's 103. The second one is, there's a town hall meeting for fentanyl. Is that fentanyl? No. Fentanyl, January 11th at 6 p.m. at the Sedgwick County Extension Center. It's open to the public, so if anybody wants to go, it's that. And also, questions this week about people not know that their water bill, who pays the water bill, or not the water bill, the trash bill. We had a lady from North Janus Street call, complaining that her increase was up to $75.29 per quarter. I had another lady call and say, finds the contract with Waste Management. So,
The waste comes.
We should,
Just wanna let you know.
Council Colbert, what?
Huh?
What road?
North Janus, it's south, west side, almost route to Rio, but it's 8,700 block.
that's not us.
Yeah, that's not in the corporate limits. And so our franchise agreement with Waste Connections covers all roads within the city limits. And so those corporate, or sorry, the ones outside of the corporate
I
limits.
understand that,
Yep,
but
they
what
would be.
happened was Waste Connections says, because she said she was from the Valley,
Oh,
and that changed it, the whole thing in the presentation. I said, you'll have to check with somebody at the city hall. Valley.
so the person that she talked to didn't realize she didn't live within city limits.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, information
And
on
the other
anybody.
ones, the other lady was the price
What?
price increase.
Okay, within city limits,
Right.
the price increase on trash. Okay.
On that. So, other than that, I have no other business. If there's no other business before the council, make a motion and the meeting be adjourned.